We're just about to get started. So as we settle in, just to let you know that we are recording this. We had several students and staff who can't be here today. So our policy is to record it to make it available to them, not to the world. Mm-hmm. And if you are uncomfortable being recorded, please just turn your video off and just listen in if that is suits you better. And in these kind of Zoom situations, people drop in and out. So just hang out and we'll kind of go with the flow. So that looks like you've got that up okay, Jenna.
Great.
Okay. Well, I think we can go ahead and get started. Welcome. Thanks for joining us this evening. We've got a presentation that should give you some good information about our program as a whole. And sometimes people think, oh, we just have these classes, this class, that class, the other class. It really is a program that fits together kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. And tonight you'll see, I guess, some of the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle, which will be some of our instructors in the LIBT program, as well as some of you students that are attending. And then we are also privileged to have our counselor, our academic counselor, Lisa Weirda, who specializes in our program. So you'll get to hear from her as well. There's a chat box over in the side. We will be watching that. The plan is to go through our PowerPoint slideshow and kind of introduce each of the instructors. And then we'll go over to some web pages that we refer to. And then at the very end, we can take general questions. But I think maybe we'll start now with, I'll introduce myself, Denise Foree. I'm one of the instructors in the Library Tech program. How about if we go around to, I think we've got 6 or 7 students. If you could just, how about if I call on you and you could just tell us your name, where you're from, and maybe one other generic or interesting thing that you'd want us to know about you, okay? And if you're not comfortable with that, just tell us your name and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm going to select Kristen, who was our first person in the waiting room. Can you tell us a couple things about yourself, Kristen?
Sure. Sorry, I was making sure I wasn't muted. Let's see. I have my bachelor's in English. This is my 2nd semester, sort of, with the LIBT program. And I had an interview today for a library assistant position.
All righty. And where are you joining us from, Kristen?
Bakersfield, but I used to live in Crescent City, so I know where Arcata is.
Oh, great.
Okay. How about, is it Dana or Diana?
Hi, it's Dana.
Dana, okay.
My name is Dana Worland. I am just starting my second year as a reentry college student. This is kind of what I want to do when my body gives out and I can't work retail anymore. My goal is to work in an elementary school library situation. And I am in Napomo, California.
Okay. Foggy right now or sunny?
It's sunny.
Okay.
Love it.
Good. Thank you. Let's hear from Nadia. Can you give us a short introduction to yourself, Nadia?
Yeah, hi, I'm Nadia. I live in Atascadero. I already have a degree from Cuesta and I'm a teacher, but I also am really interested in potentially being a librarian in a school setting. So that's why I'm here.
All righty. Thanks for joining us. Benjamin, good afternoon.
Hi, I'm Benjamin, and I'm going to Cuesta College. I live in Los Osos, California, and I'm kind of interested in library science, more specifically archiving. It's my first year at Cuesta, and I just came out of high school, so college is kind of new to me. So.
Okay, well, welcome to Cuesta and to college. Thank you. Let's see, Lori, quick intro to the group.
Sure. Hi, I'm Lori Thompson. I live in San Luis Obispo, California, and I'm interested in working in a library. I'm thinking right now, public library. I volunteered in a school library, which was great, but a little bit too much like being a teacher for me. So I think right now I'm thinking public library, but I'm open to learning more.
Okay. And this is kind of a good forum to see who teaches what courses, and that way you can maybe follow up with an individual instructor who specializes in public school, academic, some networking here.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. How about Rebecca? Can you give us a short intro?
Hi, my name is Rebecca Mazzira. This is my second semester in the program. My goal is to eventually transfer to becoming a library media technician at the junior high or high school level with the district that I'm working at. I live in Santa Clarita, and it's very hot over here.
I bet it is. I saw those numbers for like Antelope Valley, 108. I mean, you're another valley over, but still.
Yeah, it's pretty warm. It's not too bad, but it'll eventually in a few weeks it'll cool off.
Okay, very good. How about hearing from Emmanuel?
Hello, my name is Emmanuel. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology from Sacramento State University, and I've worked in mental health for a little bit, and I'm really interested in just library specific jobs. I'm also very interested in archiving, but also in public libraries, and maybe even academic ones as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we have yet to hear from, is it Leah or Lee?
Hi, it's Leah.
Okay, sorry.
No worries. Hi, I'm Leah. This is, I guess, I started last spring at Cuesta. I have an MFT, but after spending some time home with my kids, I'm looking to start a new career. And I apologize, I'm on bedtime duty right now, so I probably won't speak much. Yeah, so it's nice to meet you all, and I look forward to learning a lot from the program.
Okay, great. And this is being recorded, and we'll make it available to folks in another day or two once it comes back from Zoom. Okay.
Leah, can you tell us where you're located?
Oh, sure. Yes. So we were in Thousand Oaks when I started the program, and we just moved to Illinois. So right now we're in Naperville, Illinois.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quite the move.
All righty. Thanks. Kimberly, I don't think we've heard from you yet.
Hi, my name is Kimberly, and I am in special education as a paraeducator for about 16 years now. I did 10 years at San Luis Coastal Unified, came to Bakersfield at the beginning of the pandemic. I've been taking care of my brother who was in a motorcycle accident for the last 6 months, and planning on relocating back to Atascadero when I'm done here with him. I've been in the Cuesta program, the library tech program, since the semester of last year and this year. And just kind of thinking special education is a little rough. I mean, you know, I do moderate severe class right now. And so as I get a little bit older, I think maybe I'd like to go into elementary school library. So I think that would be fun. It's nice to meet you all, and I'm looking forward to learning a lot in the program.
Great. And we certainly have elementary school librarians well represented among our faculty. So, okay, I'm thinking that we have yet to hear from Laura Davis and Nora. Am I leaving any student out? Okay, Laura, why don't you go for it, please?
Hi, I'm Laura, and I apologize for my screen being off. I'm actually still working, so I will be listening.
No worries.
I wanted to be here. I've been in the program for since 2020, and I absolutely love it, actually. I kind of considered it something I was just trying out during when the pandemic first started. I've had a long career as a project manager in advertising, and I'm super burnt out on that. So I just started taking library classes, and I just really enjoyed it. So I've since gone part-time in advertising, and I've taken a library page position. So I'm learning a lot there in a public library. I also completed my internship last semester at a community college, and so that was really fun. And I'm still, deciding between wanting to go to work in a elementary school or a public library. Actually, the public library was I always thought I would go for the school library, and the public library has turned out to be actually really a nice environment to learn in. So I'm interested in both areas, and also maybe, a private company library at some point.
Okay, great. And we'll have hopefully some time at the end for specific questions. So those might come up later. Thank you,
Great.
Laura.
Thank you.
Okay, unless I'm wrong, I think we have Nora, and that's our last student to hear from.
Yes. Hi, I'm Nora. I'm in Morro Bay. This is my first semester in the library program, and I'm very excited to be here. I have a Bachelor of Science in Anthropology, but I'd love to be a public librarian or work in special collections or something like that. So thank you.
Okay, thanks for joining us. Okay, I think we can advance our slide, Jenna. Thank you. This is kind of what we'll cover tonight. We've done the welcome. We'll talk about some program specific information. We'll move on now to our faculty staff intros, and then we'll look at some helpful resources and have some time for questions. Okay, next slide. Unfortunately, Karina is she is our chair and a teacher in the program. She is not able to join us tonight, but she sends her good wishes, and I'm sure that you will encounter her in several of the classes that she teaches. And as with all of the slides, we've tried to provide email addresses. So one thing you can do is use your phone and take pictures. And again, we'll have this recorded and send it to you in a day or two. Okay, next. These are some of the things that we'll go over after the intros in terms of specific websites that are helpful and things that you'll probably keep coming back to during the course of your coursework in our LIBT program. Our Cuesta Library website, the website for our LIBT program. We do have a certification from the American Library Association, which is kind of like a quality seal of approval for our program. We had to qualify for that and meet certain benchmarks. So that's a good thing to know about. Several of you have mentioned the internship. This is the capstone course in our program, and usually people take that their last semester, and that's LIBT 214. And there is a different process. You don't just enroll in that. You have to meet some prerequisites, certain number of units, certain core courses under your belt. And then we have to work with you to find a library that can host you. So we'll steer you to those FAQs, frequently asked questions. And the application process for the internship is late October each year for a January start date for that course. Cuesta scholarships. The college does have scholarships. I looked at their website for the financial aid department today. It looks like late October, I think it was October 22nd is when the application cycle begins. And you might think, well, I don't need financial aid, or I don't qualify, or, I wouldn't qualify, or it wouldn't be worth it. I would say, yes, it is. Take a look at it, fill out the form. There's all kinds of little nooks and crannies in terms of financial aid. It might not be that much, but it's probably worth exploring at least. So we'll look at that website. We do have social media. We have a Facebook page or two, Instagram and Twitter. So I think we've been encouraging you to try those or sign up for those in each of our courses, but we'll preview one of those. And then our library, as well as being a teaching, having a teaching program, we try to have a variety of events. A lot of them have been virtual during these last 2.5 years. We're starting to go back to some live events. And in some cases, teachers will give you an assignment about one of our events, or you might have extra credit if you attend. But if nothing else, it can be a model for the kinds of programming that you might experience in a library that you're working in. Okay, Jenna. Here are some mugshots of many, but not all of our staff. Just to give you, we won't see Kevin tonight. It looks like David Brown didn't make it. Karina didn't make it. Della's here. I'm here. Mary's here. Jenna is here. Sharon is here. Mallory is in Ireland, or she's about to leave for Ireland. But we'll look at some slides, and then we are missing some images for people that are here. So we apologize for that, but you know how that goes. Okay. And Mallory is an important person to know, even if she is in Ireland. She is our division assistant. So she is often your first line of contact. And if you have questions, as the slide says, about college calendars, deadlines, registration, enrollment, how to get in touch with an instructor. You know, oh, there was somebody named Mary that was in the Zoom room. I don't remember her last name. How do I get in touch with her? Who's in charge of the program? I have a complaint. Well, that would be Karina. So Mallory can help you, get in touch with Karina. And then when you're ready to apply for your certificate or degree at the very end of your coursework, she can also steer you in a direction. And she also is your point person for other people on campus. Maybe you forgot Lisa's name. You said, oh, the counselor that was in that presentation, what's her name? Or how do I reach her? Is she on the San Luis campus? Can I call her? That kind of thing. So even something like, how do I get a parking permit or parking pass? Mallory is, again, often your first point. She's very, very dedicated and very congenial. I hope she's having fun in Ireland. Okay, now a lot of times with online classes, there are technical glitches. We would be lying if we said there wasn't. We do have an online support line, and that's in the purple there, and you would want to send them a note, an email, and you want to describe the class, the section, the class name, your name, the instructor's name, all those things, as well as the problem. So, I'm not able to launch the video. I can't get into, I can't submit my assignment. There's no submit button. So that's your resource there. If you are local, as a lot of you are, please come into our libraries. Both libraries are open now. It's not like a year ago or a year and a half ago. You can see our hours here, and we do have computer labs at both campuses. You can just walk in and use a computer. Kind of a little known secret, printing is now free. Unless you're doing 100 pages, we'll say no. But if you have 5 or 10 pages, it's free, a little perk. You can see our hours there. Those of you that may not know, we have 2 campuses. The main campus is in San Luis Obispo. And we have a satellite, smaller campus in Paso Robles, and that Sharon's asking a question. I don't know what the policy on color printing is right now. I'd say
we do it.
Okay, probably limited ones, a couple pages, because those
Okay.
are a little more resource intense. Anyway, the north, we call it the NCC North County campus, is in Paso Robles, and you see they have a slightly different hours than our main campus. Okay. Sharon, take it away.
So hi, my name is Sharon Haupt, and I have been at Cuesta, I think 5 or 6 years now, I'm not sure. I retired as district librarian from San Luis Coastal, and I'm so happy to be at Cuesta, where I started clear back in the 80s. And when all classes were face-to-face, nothing was online. So I teach Distance 101, which is an introduction to online, and I recognize a couple of names of students in here. I also teach the LIBT, the 218 class with adolescents in young adult literature and teen library services, which last semester was my first semester teaching that. And I feel like we had such a great time. I learned so much from my students and really valued the experience I had with my group. They were really, truly a great class to have. So it's a fun class. We do a lot of reading, but it's really worthwhile. And then many of you might have known that I just came off the Caldecott committee, and our award-winning title was Watercress by Andrea Wang and illustrated by Jason Chin. And I just came back from Washington, DC, where I got to celebrate with the Newbery and Caldecott Award Banquet, which was an amazing experience. There was just so much joy from these illustrators and authors winning these such prestigious awards for children's literature. So it was a great experience for me, in fact, a bucket list type item. So thanks. I look forward to seeing some of you in the spring.
Okay, and it's for those of you that aren't into children's literature, the Caldecott is the illustrated award for illustrations in children's books, and it's a very prestigious award, and it's actually very impressive for us to have Sharon, who's on our staff, to be on that committee. It's really a great thing to hear about and to know that she's participating in. Okay, I'm Denise Forey, based at the San Luis campus, a reference librarian as well as an instructor. I teach 3 of the core courses. These are the required courses if you're going to get a certificate or an AS degree. So you probably run into me. Right now I have 209 is ongoing, and I do have room for ads. So if you're looking to add a class, you can, again, there's my email address there. Take a picture of that. Why don't you send me a post tonight or tomorrow? We have a couple more days to add. I can take up to probably about 5 or 6 more people in my class. So that's something to think about. 208 is a late start class that will be starting in mid-October this semester. I think it's full right now, but that will cycle around. People will drop between now and October. So that one you can just keep checking. That's a 1-unit course also required. So you might be able to pick that up mid-semester. And 205 is in the spring, so that will be in January. Okay, thanks. Karina, our chair, she teaches 201 some semesters, kind of alternates with Jenna, who's here tonight. Right now she's teaching organizing information, which is kind of our cataloging and classification class. And I don't know if she has room to add. You'd have to email her directly. And again, her email's in the pinkish purple. She teaches ethics, a 1-unit required course, and that's a couple times a year. And then again, the 214 internship, which requires an application and prerequisites. And that again will be next spring. Okay, Mary.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary Spidell, and I teach the 210 class. I retired as a teacher librarian from San Luis Coastal several years ago, and I've been a teacher librarian in elementary, middle school, and high schools, but now I'm at Cuesta. I've been here 15 years, but a lot of that was concurrent with working at Laguna Middle School. Our class is School Library Media Services. It's open for ads. If you want to add it, we can take a few more people. If you're interested in working in a school library or improving your skills in a school library, this is the class for you. And it's also one of the 4 classes needed to get a library services to children's certificate of specialization. What do I like to do? I love to travel. I love to do things with my 4 grandchildren. I have 2 granddaughters and 2 grandsons, and they're all 4 lots of fun. They are older teens right now, so sometimes it's hard to catch them to spend a little bit of time with them. But anyway, I'd love to see you in our class, and I see that we have several people here tonight who are in my class already.
All righty, thank you, Mary. Okay, David Brown looks like he didn't make it tonight. David teaches one course in our series, and it is a required course. So it's a core course that you'll need to complete your certificate or AS degree. David is also an artist. That's his real life. He lives in Morro Bay, has a studio in his home. His wife is also an artist. She teaches at Cuesta. But meanwhile, he teaches technology in the workplace, and that would be in the spring, a 3-unit class. So look for his art shows. Dell, your turn.
The introductory picture that was on the screen was taken 20 some years ago. So this is more up to date. I spent several years as a high school teacher, and then a number of years, well, a lot of years as a middle school librarian. And since 1979, I worked part-time as a reference librarian and in the library tech program at Cuesta. And let's see, I'm at the reference librarian at the North County campus. I live in Paso Robles. So currently, I'm teaching the web page development class with Kevin Montenball, who's not with us tonight. And if you want to join that class, you'll have to send Kevin email asking for an ad number. And then we also teach fundamentals of cascading style sheets, and that's a late start 1-unit course. I think these classes, the web page and the cascading style sheets classes, will be offered again in about 2 years. So fall of 2024 probably. And the advanced internet searching is a late start class for 1 unit. And let's see, I'm happy to see a couple of my students here with us tonight. So nice to see you guys. And that's about it.
Well, you didn't tell us everything, Dell. This is going to be his last semester teaching with us at Cuesta.
Oh, that's hard for me to say.
Let's give him a little round of applause.
Yeah.
And you can take your mute off if you want to.
Thanks, Dell.
Okay, thank you.
Dell's been an integral part of the program. He's been the face of the program for a long time too. With Dell retiring and then Kevin Bontenball also moving over to another job, as Dell alluded, the web page, the 207 and 220 are going to be on hiatus for a year and a half while we kind of repackage them and recruit new instructors for that. So if you're interested in these courses, this would be a good semester to take them because they will not be offered in 2023. And Dell, you said you could add, well, the late starts, again, people can add themselves. And 207, they could talk to Kevin about an ad code?
Yes, they can send Kevin an email and get an ad number from him.
Okay, and we'll see
I might
Kevin's.
add that Dell was the original creator of the school library and media center services course. So thank you, Dell.
Yeah, that was fun. It's a long time ago, Mary.
All righty, thank you, Dell. Okay, Kevin, as we said, is also moving over to another job. If you did, and we don't have his email up there. Okay, we'll get that to you in the chat.
I can put that in the chat. Actually, never mind, I'm presenting, so I can't move off my screen just yet.
Yeah, we'll get that. Maybe Sharon, are you able to perhaps
I'll
copy
do it.
Kevin's email into the
I
chat?
can, does he
I
still
can
have a
do it.
Cuesta email?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll get it. I'll put it in chat.
So just to reiterate, if you did want to add 207, the web page development class, which has already started, you would email Kevin, whose email address is going to be in the chat screen, for an ad code. And you want to do that in the next day or two because ads stop by the end of the week. And then I
add something?
Yeah.
The web 207 and 220 make a person eligible for the web page coding mini certificate.
Right. just to clarify, many people going through our program either get an AS as an end degree or a certificate as an end point. But we also have mini certificates, and sometimes if you're going at a slower pace, you can package 2 or 3 courses, only 2 or 3 courses together, and get the mini certificate, which is perfect to put on a resume or a job interview as you continue for the longer series of courses. Okay, and there's Kevin's email. Great, Lisa and Sharon have both popped that into the chat. Very good. Okay, who do we have next? Jenna.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jenna Severson. I have been with Cuesta since 2017 as a reference librarian and instructor. It's so great to see some of my 201 students here tonight. That class is very full, so I unfortunately cannot add any more. However, I am teaching 212, that's typically in spring, but for the first time I'll be teaching in fall. It's a late start, 9-week, 1-unit course that I highly recommend for all college students, no matter what level where you're at. It's just really helpful to either learn new research skills or improve what you already know. So 212 for fall still has plenty of room. What else? Before being with Cuesta, most of my experience was in public libraries. And I just love chatting about all things libraries. So feel free to ask questions and reach out by email if I can help with anything.
And thanks for driving the PowerPoint.
Sure.
Jenna's always a great team player. Okay, Mercedes.
Hello, hi everyone. I'm Mercedes Rutherford Patton. I also teach Lib 212 with Jenna, and I definitely agree it is a great class for any student, not just students in the library tech program, because all of the skills are so important to our daily lives beyond academics and beyond our careers. So yeah, definitely a great class. I might be biased, but Jenna and me are awesome. So. And I actually do recognize Kimberly. You took my class last spring. I was really excited to see your name. So yeah, that's what I teach. I've been at Cuesta since 2020. I started right in the middle of the pandemic virtually. So that was really interesting. But since then, I've been able to meet most of my coworkers in person, I think by now. I also actually teach at Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo. I'm a librarian there. And I do similar things there. I teach research workshops and research skills. Before I did libraries, I was a barista actually. So I went from coffee to libraries, and I still drink a lot of coffee. So that's mostly about me. A fun fact, I guess, I am a huge gamer. I like to play computer games. So I'm a big Sims 4 fan, if anybody plays Sims, and I like to stream The Sims. So we like to do that. Yeah.
Mercedes, have you been by the apartment buildings that took over your coffee shop?
I have. It's so
they're almost open. Yeah, very different.
It's wild. Yeah, if you've ever been to Black Horse in San Luis Obispo, I worked at 3 of the 4. There's now only 2 left. So
oh, yeah. I love that coffee shop.
Yeah, I know it's pretty sad, but
yes.
What do you do? Anyway, good to see you all.
Okay, and I'm going to introduce a couple folks that aren't here tonight for a variety of reasons. These are other librarians that teach in our program, and they also have reference librarian shifts. And as a matter of fact, Laura Schwar is on duty at our San Luis campus right now. So she's in person in the building and also watching the chat and Zoom threads. So she is over there working rather than being with us tonight. Laura teaches the Intro to Online Courses, the DIST 101. It is required. It's a half-unit course, and that one is offered every semester, I believe. So it's a short 3-week class, so it doesn't last for long. And it is usually, is it always at the start of the semester? Is it sometimes, do we still have it as a mid-semester? I think it's only at the beginning of each semester, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, and I see Dawn has joined us. All
Are,
right.
are you talking about Distance 101?
Yes.
So usually there's a class at the beginning and sometimes there's one at mid-semester. Right
Okay.
now we've condensed it to just the beginning of each semester.
Okay, so look for that one at the beginning of either fall. So that would be too late to add now for fall semester.
Right.
You can look for that in spring, and also it usually shows up in our very short summer session as well. And Kristen is saying I was supposed to have it during the summer, but it never popped up. Okay.
Yeah, it was canceled for the summer. So, and
Okay.
actually, Kristen, if you want to join the class now, we've just started the second week of the 3 weeks that it probably would be pretty easy for you to catch up. And if you want to have an ad code, just email me and I'll send you an ad code. It's up to you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so as I say, yeah, Laura teaches that. We have, some people rotate different classes depending on the semester and their schedule. In addition to Laura, we are missing tonight Sharia and Patrick, and they both work, their day jobs have been in local prisons, federal, state prisons. And so they bring a very interesting perspective to library services. This class is new. It was taught for the first time last year or earlier this year. It will be offered again next spring. So if you are interested in that, you don't want to miss it. It is an elective course, so it will count towards your elective units in our program. So that's Sharia and Patrick Maloney, and I've got their emails up there. So if you're interested in, interviewing them about life as a prison librarian for another assignment, or asking them specifics about their course for January, I would take a picture with your phone of their emails. Okay. And now we have Lisa, who is a very important person to know.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Lisa Werda. I'm one of the generalist counselors at Cuesta, and library. I am a liaison to the library program. So we've actually been doing, phone appointments for a long time, way before COVID, and now it's been really nice to have that Zoom feature. So you're always welcome to make an appointment. The importance of counseling, I think, for all students is being able to set up a plan. So because our library program, not all the classes, as you've been hearing, are not offered every semester, it's nice to have a larger view of what your program might look like. And by making an appointment, we can make sure to plug those into a plan where they're correctly placed, so you know when to expect them and when they're offered. We're also a great hub for resources of all kinds at Cuesta. I was going to give you a little bit of information about the Distance 101 if you do add it at this point. The last day to add was the 17th because it's a short course, but you can have some paperwork that they would allow for it. So those are just little details that are good to get from counseling if you need them. We can direct you, and I'm always available by email and happy to respond. So if you do decide to add that Distance 101, let me know and I'll send you the form that's going to need to go with the ad code. Also, financial aid and the scholarships, it's October 1st that it opens for the upcoming year. Let's see what else. The other really nice thing about meeting with a counselor is if you have coursework from other colleges, we can help you plug that in. Oftentimes people come and think, oh, I'm just going to get the certificate in library. But as we review what you've already completed, often students have everything they need to get the associate's degree as well. So that's another thing that we can help you with, evaluating courses that you've already completed from other schools and at Cuesta, and putting those together, to maybe have you meet the associate degree requirements as well. Let's see, the other component that is super helpful for appointments is transferring. If you intend to transfer to a 4-year school, we can help you navigate that. And also the graduation requirements and helping you find all those details in you have a pathway, you have a My Cuesta pathway And so that's something that we can help you navigate as well. Did you want me, Denise, to show them the mapper?
Yeah, why don't you do that? So
Let me see if I can share my screen. Oh, no, I can't share while the
I'll
participating.
stop my share.
Okay.
Okay, great, thanks.
So I'm going to share with you. Let me try one more time. Are you seeing, is anybody seeing my my Cuesta about Cuesta College? Is that what's showing up?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's weird. I can't see it. Anyway, so if you go to my Cuesta homepage and click on academics, you can go to this where it says academic resources, degrees and certificates. And these are all the degrees and certificates that Cuesta offers. But if you go to the Cuesta College Program Mapper, this is a really helpful tool for students. It's similar in terms of planning, and we're housed under education and information. This is one of the pathways. Cuesta has multiple pathways, and this is where library information technology is housed. And then you can click on either the associate's degree, which is in the far left column, or on the certificate, which is in the center. And then, as Denise alluded to, we have these other certificates as well that are in the, for fewer units. But I'm going to click on the associate degree so you can see what these maps look like. In addition to giving you information about salary growth and careers with this degree, we have semester by semester what would be a smart way to go about earning if you wanted to earn the associate's degree. And so you can see that the classes are listed each semester, per term going through to the fourth semester. So assuming you're going to do it in 2 years. But again, just a really great resource for you to, and this is the same thing we would do on a much more individual basis if you met, to set up a student ed plan. Was there anything else, Denise, that you wanted me to share in terms of counseling?
Can we just review? So Lisa is available. What's the best way to start if I want to make an appointment with you? To email you or to call the department? What do you recommend?
So if you, even I do this, Cuesta Counseling. If you click on Cuesta Counseling, you have the in-service hours, the virtual hours, and then actually, we used to have little boxes. So here's some where you can book an appointment. Okay. So schedule an online appointment. My appointments in person are on the North County campus, but even if you were to click on the, because those are the ones that are most available because all my online fill up fast. Even if you were to click on that, you can convert that to a Zoom. So, so you're really just asking, scrolling down, selecting my name, and then pick on whatever time works for you. And then you can, at that point, tell them whether you want it in person or on Zoom.
Okay.
So, yeah. Or email me. I'm happy to help you too.
Okay. So Lisa lives at our North County campus in Paso Robles. So that might be something that you want to bear in mind, if those of you that might live near there and could go in for an in-person appointment. Otherwise, you're going to be lining up a Zoom virtual appointment with her at a certain time. And counseling also still has the virtual lobby, right? For kind of just impromptu.
We have what we call walk-in or drop-in. Okay. So you can put your name on a list, and you can select whether you want a Zoom call back or a phone call back. And the first person, the first counselor available will get to that. Okay. So yeah, it's called drop-in counseling that you can book, for a quick
spur of the moment. And yeah. Can you give us some guidelines? Like right now, as people are starting the semester, you're pretty, and it's certainly the week or two before, you're like booked solid, right?
Yeah, so we book 3 weeks out. I tend to be very booked always. my three, so you just kind of have to keep checking back. But if you do call the counseling office and say, you know, that you need an appointment with me, they'll make it happen. They'll figure out a way to get you scheduled. And that's kind of my schedule throughout the year. I'm not sure why, but it's a 3 weeks in advance. You can schedule up to 3 weeks in advance.
Okay. So it's not quite like making a dental appointment, but you do need to plan. And I know a lot of times students think they can just, you know, get Lisa right now, today, you know, in an hour. Our counselors are pretty busy. And I also want to make the point that a lot of people say, oh, a counselor, I don't need a counselor. Well, these are academic counselors. Their goal is to, I mean, they can help you with different you know, life things, but mostly their goal is to help you put together your schedule and your plan for the coursework that you want. And as Lisa has already shown, you know, she caught me on that October date that was wrong. She mentioned the late ad for Sharon's short class. She is a master of all those kinds of details, and those are the things that trip students up. So don't be, you know, don't feel that seeing a counselor is, you know, embarrassing or beneath you. It's really a very smart move, and our counselors are very empathetic and very, you know, well seasoned in all the, you know, bureaucratic stuff that comes with a college.
Yeah, and we're really problem solvers. You know, that's what I feel, you know, so as long as you're communicating and letting us know what the problem is, we probably can find a solution for you. So I think we're a really good resource in that way. And sometimes the problems seem silly. I mean, we get the gamut, right? Everything from, oh no, I don't know where that room is, to, you know, can you send me a map, to, I need to transfer, you know, this coming year and I'm missing a class, and how do I accommodate? So there's a big gamut of we're a good hub for resourcing, you know, and directing you to the people you need. We may not have all the answers, but we know who do. You know, we know the people that have the answers.
I might also add, Denise, that it could be good to get into the habit of working with an academic counselor, because if you do plan to move on to a four-year university, some of them now require you to meet with an academic counselor in order to register for classes, which I think is incredibly helpful and great, but it'd be good to get in the practice of meeting with them now.
Good point. I didn't realize that was happening.
And I think too, the success rate for students that actually get counseling early on, and the efficiency, you know, because we really want you to get out in the most efficient way possible. And oftentimes students will take things not knowing they can double count it for their major in general ed, or not knowing, so they take extra credits. You know, and our goal is to get you as close to 60. I mean, you have to have a minimum of 60 to finish a degree with us or to transfer, but we don't want you to end up taking 90. You know, we really want you, you may have to take a little more than 60, but we really try to make it the most efficient possible so you can move on, you know, sooner than later.
And another thing that I think came up in something Lisa said earlier is, if you have taken a class that might somewhere else, another community college, four-year college, that might satisfy one of the requirements in our program, Lisa is going to be the person that can help you with that. And that, you know, you might think that it's just easy. You can just email me and say, well, I already took this other class last year. It's like, it doesn't work that way. You have to prove that. She has to approve it. It has to meet, you know, the same number of units and the content, and there's, you know, again, forms to fill out. So she is your go-to person to get those credits if they will satisfy Cuesta's requirements. And that way, again, you're not double dipping, taking the same class twice. But again, you need to be, you need to inquire and work with her on solving that problem. Okay.
And Lisa, what was your email? I'm sorry.
It's Lisa_Werda, so LISA_WEARDA @cuesta.edu.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll put that in the chat too. Okay, there it is. Sharon's asking about, is ethnic studies going to be a required class now for the AA? I think we're going to defer to Lisa on that. Not that I'm aware of.
That's in discussion. So we are trying to figure all that out, but not this year, but it's coming down the pipe for sure.
Okay. So there again, Lisa has been able to answer a question for us. Yay. Okay, Jenna, is that pretty much the end of our slideshow? Okay. Let's just look at our checklist here. Okay. I'm going to show you a couple websites now that will allow you to dig a little deeper into some of these things. And then we'll try to save, 7 or 8 minutes at the end for questions. So Jenna, how about if you stop sharing, and then I'm going to try to share my websites that I've saved up. Okay, and can everyone see the Cuesta Library homepage, I hope?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I would suggest that you get familiar with this page. It is something that we use in the classes. Almost all classes in our program, you're going to be coming to this website again and again. There's a lot of resources. Certainly our online resources are there, and something that you're going to get familiar with for your own use, for assignments and exercises and so forth. And just to reiterate, if you're at the Cuesta, just the basic college homepage, you're just going to go up to library here. And a lot of these navigation bar links are also repeated here. We also have some nice videos that have been done by Jenna, some quick search kinds of things. We have library guides that you may use in your class. I definitely want to point out our Ask the Librarian. We encourage you totally to come into the buildings, either in Paso Robles or San Luis Obispo, if you're able to. And some of you can. We like meeting you in person. That's great. And I think, it's probably, in many cases, the most successful interaction, but a lot of you don't live near here. So we have a chat line. And again, Laura, who's not here tonight, is manning that. We could bug her with a little fake question, but I think I won't do that. But anyway, if it says available, it means one of our librarians is on duty. They're on duty when the buildings are open. So when the building is locked up and she goes home, it's not available, and it will say not available. We also have Zoom, just like Lisa was talking about Zoom appointments for counseling. And there is the meeting room. And again, Laura, who is on duty, and who's on duty at North County? Is it Vicki? I'm not sure. Anyway, we have someone at both campuses. So we have 2 people. So hopefully if one or the other is not engaged with an in-person student, they'll pick up on one of these. Email a librarian. You can do that, although that's going to be the slowest. So I don't really recommend that. I would say email your instructor directly. This would be kind of a last resort. These other 2 are more timely and efficient. So you want to take advantage of that service. And let's see.
So Dana mentioned that she used the Ask a Librarian feature this afternoon with Mark, and that, he really helped her with what she needed to do.
Oh,
and
did
then,
you chat or Zoom with him?
I think she chatted. And Dana, did you chat?
I chatted with him.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
And Mark's chatty. So
It ended up being like 25 minutes, and he gave me exactly what I needed.
he is. He's chatty. He's a good person to chat. He's our former director. He's now come back as a part-time librarian. So good.
And then Lisa added to Kristen, if you wanted to see that information about the late ad for the distance 101. Lisa put that in chat too.
Okay. Yeah. And I can't see chat while I'm screen sharing. So thank you. Well, I guess I can if I use this other thing. Well, I'm not going to.
I got it. Thank you.
I'm going to let you watch it. Okay, let's move on with our, okay, and this is the ALA certification that I talked about, the library support staff certification that just lets you know that we meet a quality standard. And there are other colleges throughout the US too. City College of San Francisco, College of DuPage in Illinois, Cuesta, Diablo Valley up in the Bay Area, and some others. But if you wanted to read more about that, you could do that. Scholarship info. Okay, and this is where I must have read this wrong, Lisa. I looked at October 1st and I saw October 22nd. But this is where you would want to apply and follow up on any scholarships that the college might have that you could be eligible for. So it's worth your while. Here is our library events page, and we're just getting started with the new semester, but we do have a virtual book club, and we've got 3 lined up in this. Let's see, let me take a look. Okay, there's our most recent edition of that page. We have 3 books, actually 3 segments, 3 events. This is going to be a live speaker. This is going to be the author herself will be on Zoom, and then this will be our book club led by a couple of our librarians. Sometimes these are assignments and classes. If nothing else, they're good models for programs that you might be involved in creating at your library. So take a look at that. We also have a Book of the Year program. We don't have that up on our website yet because we just contracted with the author, but if you're interested, it's a YA crossover, All My Rage by Saba Tahir. And that'll be in April 27th next year. That's a big event for us. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, here's one of our Facebook pages. We have a couple different ones. One is our library one. This is an exhibit we have going on right now by an instructor on campus. There's our book club again. What else do we have? These are our hours. So we try to post different things. So we would encourage you to join our different Facebook pages. And then lastly, I wanted to, and again, you can copy the URL up here. And this is the frequently asked questions for the internship. So that would be something to read up on. Again, Karina, when she's available, is a good resource. Mallory also, and Lisa, I can also talk to you about that. So it is a little more complex than just signing up for a class otherwise. Okay, well, we've got a few minutes left. Can we turn it over to questions that you might have? Just unmute yourself and don't be shy. Kristen? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to unmute.
No, well, it's okay.
Can't think of anything other than how to get to interlibrary loans, but
That's right. You're probably in my class, right?
yeah.
Why don't you email me directly on that and we can
Okay.
talk about that one. That's
No
changed
problem.
a lot. That's changed a lot with the pandemic. So,
yeah.
Okay, some of you were interested in school libraries versus academic libraries or public. Do you want to throw out a question to the group that we have here and see if you get some inspiration or guidance or something?
Hello, I actually had a question for Dell.
Yes.
Just to double check, are you offering the course LIBT 220 this semester?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm unable to find it under the registration. Should I just email Kevin about that?
Well, I thought we were. I assume we're all.
So you're not finding it in the class finder?
I am not, no.
Okay. And
That's weird.
I don't have that in front of me, so
I can do a double check right now and
okay.
see what comes up for 220, right?
Yes, for 220.
Jenna's going to take a peek in the class finder and
Thank
see
you.
what is showing up. Yeah, thank you, Emmanuel.
Was it 220 or 212?
220.
220.
220.
How about the rest of you folks? Anybody else have a question about a class? Again, a sort of a career track or path. We have a lot of different, like I say, we have a lot of people. We're very strong in those who have worked with children's services in schools or in public libraries. Karina and I have both worked in archives as well as different academic libraries, along with Mercedes. Jenna has a strong background in public. I've worked in public. So a lot of us have been all over the map. So we can share some of those observations with you. And then again, if prison libraries is something that piques your interest, that would definitely be Sharia and Patrick, who are not here tonight. Okay, Ben was interested in archives. Archives, you're basically going to want to be in a larger metropolitan area. San Luis Obispo is not a great place to see examples of archives. There aren't many. Our courses can get you started, but in addition to that, I would recommend that you take some very specific SAA classes or SCA. That's like a state archives group that has hands-on workshops. I've been to several, they're great. If you're interested in following up on that, you can email me directly. And yes, Cal Poly has a special collections and archives. It's pretty much the only one in the area though. So the job market for that locally is tight. If you're in Los Angeles, it's wide open, the Bay Area, wide open. You know, it's fascinating. Yep, I've worked with the Julia Morgan materials. That was one of the most exciting things I've done in my career. So, but anyway, I would, follow up with one of us on that. There is some direction that we can give you. Digitization is something that is a skill you not just for, quote unquote archives, but for any library these days. So if you have an opportunity to do that in your internship or hands-on in any situation, I mean, I just can't recommend that enough. Lori has a question with Kauai in the background. Can I go there now?
It is Kauai, yeah. It's actually a question for Lisa. When I made my academic appointment counseling session in summer, they mentioned that we may be able to waive distance learning 101. Do you know anything about that, if that's true?
Yeah, there's a substitution waiver form that you can use, and that it comes to me and then to Karina.
Okay, so
and it's actually the same link that I just put in there for the other forms. All the forms are on the same page.
Okay.
But let me tell you which one you would go to instead of late enrollment. You would go to, it's funny, the title, it says graduation. And then if you read what's in the parentheses of that, it has a substitution waiver. So if you click on that, it'll drop down and bring up the correct one for that.
Okay.
So it's called the Petition for Substitution Waiver of Associate Degree or Certificate Requirements.
That's a long title.
Yeah, it is.
See, that's why you want Lisa to help you. Otherwise you would look at that and just say, oh my God, what does that even mean?
So I did want to jump, I wanted to jump in and confirm that I do not see 220 on the fall list. I see it archived back for fall 2021. Yeah.
I'm sorry, it was my understanding that it was going to be offered this fall, so I just assumed that was going to take place.
Maybe we can double check with Karina after we're done here today. And Del, can you follow up with her on that and then get back to Emmanuel?
Yes.
And you're right, Del, it was listed as one of the courses. It's not on ClassFinder, but it was listed on Karina's sheet as projected for this semester.
Okay.
So
Emmanuel,
what does that mean?
Put your email in the chat and that way Del will have it so he can get back to you.
Lisa, what did that mean that you just said?
Well, so it would be presumed that it would have been taught this semester. I mean, it was on her projected sheet for this fall. So I don't know why it's not in ClassFinder, but you're correct in assuming you were going to be teaching it because that's what the information was given previously.
Okay, well, Del will follow up and okay, you have Emmanuel's email?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's in
Okay,
my class.
okay, but then maybe you can let him know what.
Well, I have Lisa on the hot seat here. How do we notify general students that the course might be offered?
Yeah, that's going to be tricky. So, but I can get a list of all students that are in the library program or that have that listed as their degree goal, and we can email them. I mean, I'm assuming it would be a late start class since it hasn't
Yes.
started yet.
Yeah, it's
So
late
if
start.
yeah, so if it comes about, maybe we need to do that. We need to do an Argos report, pull all the students that have library as their goal, and then just send out an email, you know, FYI, this course is going to be offered.
Thank you. Bless you.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, let me know what happens. I mean, let me know what Karina says.
I'll try to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Thank you, Emmanuel, for bringing that to our attention.
Thank you.
So anybody else that we haven't heard from? Nadia, Rebecca, Laura, Dawn, Leah, Nora? Any questions before we sign off and go have dinner?
I'll just ask a quick question.
Sure.
So I've really been, my whole life loved children's literature, and initially thought about working in a school library, but have been recently enjoying the public library scenario in the children's department. I guess I'm just curious, for those of you that have worked in both types of libraries, maybe some pros and cons as to, working with kids in those two different environments. Obviously, I know the school library is a little more, direct, involved in teaching. And I've not been sure if I'm the type of person that would, it seems like librarians are asked to teach classes more, and I'll learn more about that in Mary's class this semester, I think. But I'm just looking for some feedback, if anyone has any pros and cons.
I can tell you as a teacher librarian, I was involved in a lot of teaching. It's not so much teaching for library technicians because they don't have the teaching credential, but you still will be working a lot with teachers and students, and working hand in hand with teachers probably more.
Thank you. Yes.
I also think with in the school setting, you're working a lot more with the requirements of reading programs and reading levels and things like that. In the public library, that's offered, but it's not something that is the focus in a public library setting. And things like Battle of the Books and California Young Reader Medal programming is focused on a lot more in schools, but yet public library has resources to support students wanting to read those books and stuff. They don't necessarily run programs so much as they just have resources. So
I was going to mention along the same lines, Sharon, in that I don't have experience as a school librarian, but certainly in the public library setting, and I worked a lot with children's services. I personally enjoyed the freedom of not being restricted by all that goes along with the public school system. So yeah, just the freedom and the creativity that came with being able to do programming of any kind, and reading recommendations not restricted by reading levels or anything else. That's not to say that I'm sure that it's very rewarding and fun in the school libraries, but I just, at least when I was a new librarian, didn't expect to have so much creativity and freedom there, and it was just a lot of fun.
and I think working with like teenagers in a school library versus a public library is also, again, focused at school. You're teaching these, you're working with these teachers to teach students how to research, because they all think they know how to Google, but they don't necessarily really know how to research. Mm-hmm. And so you're really focused on the research process with them as they're beginning their careers in high school and then moving into college. Whereas in the public library, you might be focused more on getting students really engaged with materials and programs and things like Zines and manga and clubs and things like that are more interactive and engaging for them.
And speaking of teens, I will say, if you are wanting to work specifically with teens, working in a high school library would be the way to go. You have a more captured audience, where in the public library, there's sort of the missing, we didn't see that population group so much.
Right.
And so we'd often be working on how to get teens in the library. I know that if I'd run a fun program like guitar lessons in the library, all of a sudden we'd have a lot of teens, but just not so much on the regular.
Right.
Another thing that I can just throw in, it's not unusual these days to do a lot of collaboration between libraries. For example, Cuesta, you're a college library, you don't have anything to do with the rest of the libraries in the area. That's not true. We often co-apply for grants with the public library system. We also work with public librarians, the whole system on programming and our Book of the Year event. That's a collaborative. We have a advisory committee that draws from Cal Poly, the public libraries in this county and Santa Maria. So we try to bring in expertise and share and kind of cross-pollinate. So that being said, it's if you are in a public library setting or a school library setting, it's not unusual to interact. And actually, lots of people jump from one to the other. So it doesn't mean that you can't go get a job in another setting. Happens all the time.
Great. Thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate your thoughts.
Okay, well, I want to be respectful of your time tonight, and I think we're just about out. I could take one last question if anyone is just burning to get some feedback or input.
I just want to say that I have really enjoyed the program so far. I've had two, maybe 3 classes with Sharon. I'm on my second class with Jenna, my second class with Karina, and I have really enjoyed the program. So thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Alrighty. Well, that's a nice note to end the evening on. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your time. And again, we will send the recording in a day or two once we get it back from the Zoom land. Don't forget to look at our homepage, the Cuesta Library homepage, and you can also Google or search within the homepage to find our staff list. I don't think we pulled that one up. And hopefully you'll now have some new avenues of resources that you'll take advantage of. And we'll see you in class. Okay, thanks everybody for being here.
Good night.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.